What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and today I'm talking about the top 10 most anticipated upcoming sneaker collaborations. Thanks so much for tuning in today, guys. Make sure to give me a follow on Instagram and on Twitter at RealSethFowler. Also head on over to Twitch and give me a follow over there at Seth Fowler. But with all that out of the way, let's get into it. First off, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Reshoevn8r. Reshoevn8r provides the absolute best when it comes to shoe care and sneaker cleaning products. They have a huge variety of products on their website to take care of any of your sneaker cleaning needs. My go-to has always been the Reshoevn8r Advanced Sneaker Solution. I've been cleaning a lot of my shoes with it recently, especially with all this bad weather we've been having. If you guys have dirty shoes that need to be cleaned up, which I'm sure you do, make sure to check out Reshoevn8r in the link in the description below. Also make sure to use my discount code Seth for 10% off your entire order. Now, jumping right into the list, because this sneaker has already technically released overseas, and this list is the most anticipated upcoming sneaker collaborations, I had to make this shoe an honorable mention. As I'm sure a lot of you guys have already figured it out, it's the off-white Air Jordan 1s. This shoe, of course, just released on March 3rd as a European-only exclusive, and that sucks for people like me who are in the US. Of course, if you're in Europe and you got a pair, good on you, that's awesome. I'm really jealous. But this shoe is the second off-white Air Jordan 1 to release, even though it was technically supposed to be the first version of the shoe. As you could probably tell by the color scheme of the sneaker, it does fit in really well with the original 10 collection. However, allegedly partway through the design process, Virgil decided to change up the colorway for a more classic Chicago colorway, which honestly, I like better. But overall, I think this look is crazy clean, not just because it's white, but also because I think the overall design of the shoe was executed excellently. It's a fire shoe, and to be honest with you guys, I wouldn't be surprised at all if it did end up releasing globally. I mean, it just makes sense because it's such a great shoe, and all the other off-white sneakers in the collection released globally, or at least stateside, so it would make sense. Moving on to the actual list, coming in at number 10, it's the Nike and Supreme Air Force 1 NBA collection. This pair of sneakers and the entire collection is going for sort of a 90s, early 2000s vibe. You've got the logos of all 30 NBA teams, the Supreme logo, and the Nike swoosh plastered all over the sneaker. To be fair, the Nike swoosh is just on the side of the Air Force 1s, and the Supreme logo I think is only on there once or twice on the outside of the shoe, but they're on there. Some people may not like this collaboration because they find it to be a little bit tacky or a little bit busy. I've heard some people really love the white colorway and don't like the black colorway, or vice versa, but I think I've heard more people liking the white colorway than the black colorway. I'm personally kind of apathetic. I don't love the collection, but I don't think it's terrible. The problem is, whether you love the collection or hate the collection, the chance of you actually getting a pair is probably pretty slim because they're only releasing online and in store, and if you don't live near a Supreme store or are not very lucky when it comes to Supreme online releases, you're kind of out of luck. These shoes will definitely resell for... What?
To please.
Siri. These shoes will definitely resell for a good amount of money, at least when they first release. So if you're planning to get a pair, try and get them for retail if you can, because if not, they're gonna be kind of expensive. Next up at number 9, we've got the Dragon Ball Z and Adidas collaboration dropping later this year. This whole collection is kind of a big deal, not only because it's nostalgic to a lot of people, but also because of the amount of silhouettes that are getting collaborated on. In full disclosure, I never watched Dragon Ball Z. I know nothing about Dragon Ball Z other than playing some of the GameCube games back when they came out. I think that's about it. But hey, people seem to love it. I don't think it's a super strong collection, but people do really like Dragon Ball Z, so I think they definitely have that going for them. The one sneaker out of that collection that I'm kind of looking forward to, I think, is the Adidas Young 1 Dragon Ball Z Frieza edition. It's got this whole dad shoe vibe to it. I kind of like the blue and the white together. I think they look pretty good. I mean, overall, it's not a shoe that I'm obsessed with, but I think out of the entire collection, it's the one that I'm most interested in. The collection drops towards the end of this year throughout a couple months, so if you're looking to grab a pair, just stay tuned to Adidas. Coming in at number 8 is a shoe that I've actually talked about in a previous video, and that is the Concepts Err Monarch. I don't know if you've seen my recent review of the Err Monarch, but that's a shoe that I think might actually come back this year. I mean, whether it was ever here in the first place, so I guess it may not actually be a comeback, it's more of like just a popularity boost. I'm not sure what to call it, but this Concepts makeover of the sneaker gives it a black suede upper and a gum outsole, and I think overall the shoe looks great. I mean, I didn't hate the shoe to begin with, but I think in this color scheme with these materials, it's a dope shoe. Now, there hasn't really been any word on whether this shoe is actually going to release, but if it does release, I'll keep you guys posted, and I'll definitely be trying to grab a pair for myself to review. Next up is a shoe that released in very limited numbers over All-Star Weekend, and that's the Parley Adidas Ultra Boost Mid. You guys know I love the Parley and Adidas collaboration. I love what Parley is doing. I love how they're taking trash out of the ocean and turning it into a great material that can be used on sneakers. I think the whole thing is excellent. Not only the material that they're using on the sneakers, but also the design styling I think looks great. The blue Parley Ultra Boost 3.0 those is one of my favorite sneakers in my collection, and I just love this new take on the Ultra Boost Mid. In fairness, yes, it is a pretty simple colorway. It's all white with that sort of Parley signature heel cup, and to be honest, it's a must cop for me when it actually drops. It'll definitely be a pain to keep clean, but that's just something I'm gonna have to live with. Dropping in at number 6 for Air Max Day, it's the Atmos and Nike Animal Pack 2.0. This collab features 2 sneakers, the Air Max 1 and the Air Max 95. The Animal Pack collection features faux fur instead of regular leather on the upper of the sneakers, and as I'm sure you know, the Animal Pack re-released last year as well for Air Max Day, so this time around they're making a slight change on both sneakers by changing the pony hair color on the top of the sneakers from white to black. It's a minimal change. I don't think it's going to change anyone's buying decisions on the sneaker, but I mean, at least you can say it's relatively different. I'm personally not a huge fan of the aesthetic of the sneakers, however, I might be in the minority when I say that. People go crazy for this pack, and in a lot of cases, I don't think it's even actually just the hype. I think people really love the way these sneakers look. I'm not one of them, but hey, if I can grab a pair to review, I definitely will. These shoes dropped just before Air Max Day on March 17th, and let's be honest, if you can grab a pair, count yourself lucky. Next up at number 5, it's the long-rumored Ultra Boost and Undefeated collaboration. This shoe, or samples of the shoe, have been leaked for I think over a year now. People have been freaking out about this collaboration. I think it's awesome, and I think the pictures that I've seen of the sneaker look great, but the shoe's not been confirmed, and no one actually knows if it's going to release, so I think this is one of those shoes that you kind of have to take with a grain of salt. I really love the bold branding across the toe of the sneaker. I think that's one of my favorite aspects of the shoe. It's something that's never been done on the Ultra Boost before. I mean, yes, it's been done on other sneakers, but not the Ultra Boost. It's just a cool, bold, different look, and I think it's great. Also, I think it has to be said that Undefeated has had some of the best collaborations in sneaker history. Coming in at number 4, it's the next wave of acronym Prestos. The original acronym Prestos were a runaway success. You had one crazy neon colored sneaker, which I actually did a review on if you guys want to check that out, and then you had a more muted olive and black and sort of brown and black colorway. The styling of the sneaker was very acronym and very over the top, and over the last year or so, the resale of these sneakers have skyrocketed. Now it looks like Acronym and Nike are planning to re-release the sneaker in a couple different colorways. I've got to say, I'm really excited. The neon pair that I got just wasn't in my size. It was slightly too big, so I couldn't actually rock the shoe. This time around, I'm definitely going to try and grab one of the shoes in my size, and to be honest, I wouldn't mind any of the colorways. I think they're all kind of nice. That is, if these are the actual colorways and not just mock-ups. Coming in at number 3 is the brand new Undercover and Nike React sneaker. This collaboration took me by surprise. This collab has that whole bulky dad shoe aesthetic with the sort of crazy colors that you're used to with things like Balenciagas, and I think it looks insane. Not only that, but the outsole of each one of these sneakers is made up of React, so it's going to be extremely comfortable. I don't know about you guys, but I think this collab is fire. I love it. To be fair, I'm not a huge fan of like the red outsole and green upper sort of Grinch colorway, but I think the other colorways are gorgeous. They're so different from what I expect from a Nike sneaker, and the fact that they're utilizing Nike's newest cushioning setup is just amazing. That like green and like rust and denim colored sneaker is just, it's incredible. I love it. I'm definitely going to be trying to grab a pair of these. They'll probably be very expensive and very limited, but who knows, you know? We'll see what happens. Coming in at number 2 is a pair of sneakers that should be no surprise to anyone, the Off-White Vapour Max. This time around, the Off-White Vapour Max is coming in 2 different colorways, in a black and in a white. Rather than the first Off-White Vapour Max that had a blacked out midsole, this time around they've got a translucent midsole on both sneakers. To my knowledge, both of these sneakers should be releasing around Air Max Day. I'm not sure exactly the date yet, but expect them to be limited and expect them to be very difficult to get. The construction of the upper of both of these sneakers is pretty much exactly the same as what we found on the previous Off-White Vapour Max. There are a couple subtle design differences, but I think overall it's pretty much more of the same. And that's not a bad thing, especially if you don't already have the original Off-White Vapour Max, which I do not. And finally, to number 1, the heavy hitter, the re-release of the Undefeated Air Jordan 4. This shoe originally released in 2005 in extremely limited quantities and quickly became one of the most coveted Jordans of all time. The shoe features a military green upper with orange accents and removable patches, and honestly, it's been a sneakerhead wet dream for years. However, there's no guarantee that this shoe will re-release. There have only been pictures of samples of this shoe, so no one's totally sure what's going to happen. Most likely, from what I've heard, there will not be a regular release of this shoe. It'll probably be a charity auction like they did with the Nike Air Mags, which I think is a good thing, because if they release the shoe in wider numbers, it would really take away from the sort of lore that the sneaker has. It's kind of like every Jordan collector's grail sneaker, and no one really has it, but everyone wants it. It's kind of like the end-all be-all of sneaker collecting. Yes, there are shoes that are worth more. Yes, there are shoes that are more hyped, but this shoe is pretty much it. Make sure to stay tuned to my channel for more updates on the Undefeated Air Jordan 4 and whether it's actually going to release. But that pretty much wraps it up for the video today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to leave a comment in the comment section down below letting me know which one of these sneakers you're most excited for. Once again, I want to give a huge thank you to Reshoevn8r for sponsoring this video. If you guys want to check out their products, make sure to click the link to their website in the description below, and make sure to use my discount code Seth for 10% off your entire order. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to me, Seth Fowler, if you want to see more content just like this, and follow me in all other forms of social media. The links will be in the description below.